So after the students finish their exit sip, you're going to see they're going to come back. We're going to review over them, make sure they understand. And then they're going to also take a quiz on the forms of government. That's going to lead us to continue on with our government projects. And here's an example of a student project from last semester on Slovakia. They did a Google slide on this. And as we go through each slide, you see that this was a group of 3. I had a bigger class at that point, and they chose a more difficult country that they really didn't have any background on, and most students don't. And we see as they gave us some graphics, they point out the leaders and explained the process, and they had to talk to us. They put their names on each individual slide so we know who's presenting what. Gave us some economic background, and that helps us to link on to the economic jellies that we're going to be covering throughout the semester in government class. We talk about the agriculture and the industries. Citizenship is very important for them to understand other countries' process to become citizens, so we can compare ours, as citizenship is a huge topic that is discussed in government and current day news. The basic rights of a citizen. This is where they truly can compare the rights of other countries to those built into the U.S. Constitution within the Bill of Rights. And most kids don't really realize how many rights we have in America and how limited other countries are. So as we go through, you can kind of see they explain the court system, and that's going to parallel our judicial branch that we will cover throughout the year. The pros and cons, so we can make some understanding about their governments. And even they're allowed to go beyond the curriculum and put a recipe for a dish, and if they want to make it and bring it in, it just adds to the understanding of the countries. You can see the websites, and you also see that they utilize it ifitweremyhome.com. Students will then take a quiz using this information on Google Forms, and just pulling that up right quick so you can see what it means to test them. Using some of the same information. So this is a Google Form test that we can print out. That Google Form has the lock format now, so it enables them not to be able to open up any other tabs and not to cheat. And you see I have it sectioned off. I'm using some of the charts from the iCivic worksheets within, and they have to understand the different aspects, using information about some of the countries that we discussed as examples as we demonstrated the project and modeled it throughout the lessons the last week. Gave them some real application to understand. And then we see this is some review questions from some of the other things we covered throughout the scope of the class so far, so that they can understand how government works and make sure they don't forget any of that. And then we're also talking about federalism, principles of democracy throughout the week. So this is my little review quiz that pulls on all the things that we have taught, so that keep them fresh for the midterm and the current information on their test. I also used a website called Screenomatic to make this video, along with Movie Maker, if anyone's interested in understanding how it works. It's a free website that allows us to be able to talk. We can switch views, and you could see me right now.